SWOT analysis. Turkey. Strength.
Turkey, once the core of the Ottoman Empire, is no longer the sick man of Europe. In fact, Turkey has turned into an Anatolian tiger. Its demographic story is the best in Europe, with a population increase of 13 million by 2050, driven by improvements in medical care, leading to longer lasting life expectancy. Turkey also has an open door when it comes to immigration, welcoming migration from former Soviet states of Southeast Europe and asylum seekers from the Middle East. From a capital point of view, Turkey provides a relatively accessible golden visa with as little as a $250K investment into the market. All up, these capital and demographic deposits add to the skills and vitality of this growing nation. From a security perspective, Turkey has been a member of NATO since 1952. This renders Turkey virtually untouchable, as no one in the history of NATO has ever invaded a NATO country in fear of Article 5, the Mutual Defense Clause, which states that if attacked, all NATO countries must come to the defense of the attacked country. This has freed Turkey up militarily, as defense is the foremost concern of many nations, especially in the Middle East. Turkey is one of only 2 Muslim-majority countries that have been allowed into NATO, the other being Albania. But with a bustling population of nearly 90 million people, Turkey hosts the largest NATO army outside of the United States.
Weakness.
Due to NATO's interference, the Middle East is a very volatile region. Consequently, this has led to Turkey having the largest refugee population in the world of nearly 4 million people, primarily from Iraq and Syria. Bringing in this amount of people places enormous strains on the host country, whether it's vetting for potential soldiers and criminals that are concealed amongst the true refugee population, or providing the social needs required to accommodate such a large amount of people who are not productive in the labor force. Managing this scenario has been troublesome, especially when the Turkish economy is experiencing an 80% inflation rate. Another ongoing concern is the government-labeled terrorist group, the Kurdistan Workers' Party, otherwise known as the PKK, who wants greater autonomy for Kurdish people within Turkey or on independent land. The Kurds make up 20% of Turkey's population, but taking into account its neighboring populations in Iran, Iraq, and Syria, the estimated Kurdish population is 30 to 40 million people, widely considered to be the largest ethnic group in the world without a country. Kurdish autonomy is an immediate concern to the territorial integrity of Turkey.
Opportunity.
Location, location, location. Turkey sits on the Anatolian Peninsula, which has served as the crossroads of Asia and Europe since antiquity. And it is looking to exert its role once again as the middleman. Previously, it was the middleman of the Silk Road. Now it wants to be the middleman for European energy consumption. Turkey is positioning itself as a key energy source to Europe, similar to Russia, but unlike Russia, this energy is not indigenous to Turkey, but instead, Turkey is funneling the transit arteries of Europe's energy in the subtropical zones. It has bases in Sudan and Somalia, which flank the Red Sea passage to the vital Suez Canal. It also has military bases in Qatar, a nation who it has close relations to and who controls the North Field, the largest natural gas field in the world. Turkey has a base in Azerbaijan and leverages its shared identity with this oil-rich country, which has access to the energy-rich Caspian Sea. On the other side of the Caspian Sea is Turkmenistan, another Turkic country, but with significant sources of natural gas. Turkey has established bases in the oil-rich region of Syria and Iraq as well, where allegations have been made that they are buying oil from the Islamic State. Turkey also has troops in Libya, in contention with France, going as far as sending military forces in support of its government. This all culminates in Turkey securing its own required energy needs, but also directly or indirectly having influence in a series of energy-rich countries, creating a de facto Turkish OPEC. As the conflict in Ukraine continues to push Europe and Russia apart, Turkey is positioning itself to fill the void, being the energy lifeline to a very energy deficient Europe.
Threats.
Turkey is on a collision course with the rest of NATO. Many in the world are very bullish on Turkish prospects, including the Turks themselves, leading to the Turks' security doctrine, Mavi Vatan, translated to the Blue Homeland, in which Turkey proclaims a maritime ring around its country of ambitious proportions. But in all practicality, Turkey has been a POW. Since the Crimean War, the West has puppet mastered Turkey as a hedge against Russian expansion. But looking at Turkey's strategic moves, they seem far more ambitious than a mere maritime buffer and closer to Ottoman Empire 2.0. Turkey has taken a very aggressive approach to its foreign policy. In the last 5 years, Turkish President Erdogan has visited only 2 countries every year. One is Azerbaijan, a country so close in relations to Turkey that their relationship has been referred to as one nation, 2 states. The second country that President Erdogan has visited every year in the last 5 years is Russia, the arch nemesis of NATO. In fact, Turkey is the only NATO country that has neither took out sanctions or even threatened sanctions against Russia since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. In fact, Turkey has just doubled its imports of Russian oil, which is counterproductive to the aims of NATO. Erdogan has visited countries such as Venezuela and Iran and 10 sub-Saharan African nations in search of markets for trade and defense opportunities. Turkey's overseas bases, although some under a NATO charter, outlines a clear sphere of operation at the intersection of Europe, Asia, and Africa. There is also a building distrust between Turkey and NATO as interests and accusations continue to sour their relationship. Turkey's interior minister accused the United States of supporting a 2016 failed coup to remove the current Turkish administration. Turkey being accused of buying oil from the Islamic State and actually buying oil from a Western sanctioned Russia. Turkey and France butting heads in Libya, and Turkey and Greece butting heads in Cyprus. Then there is the US funding of YPG, a group of Kurdish fighters operating in Syria. This was done in face of direct protests from Turkey. Interests that could have once been considered diverging have now turned into chasms. Today, Turkey has supremacy in demographic trends, energy access, and military size in contrast to its fellow European NATO countries. Ironically, the rise of the Ottoman Empire was a consequence of the Greeks relying on Turkish security, which led to Turkish migration and finally Turkish rule, turning the Anatolian Peninsula from a Greek blue to a Turkish red. One wonders what the fate of Europe will be this time,